Alright guys, so in the previous video you had seen what is this game of flames. So it is basically you have two names and you have to cross out the common letters across the two names. That is, within the name, if the letter repeats, you cannot cross it out. If it repeats, that is, if you have one letter at name 1 and other letter at name 2, you can cross out the two letters. Like that, you keep crossing the common letters, and at the end, how many letters are left out, you have a count of it, and you go in steps of that many number of counts along the word flames from the left, and if it exceeds the word length, you again come back to the first letter in the anti-clockwise direction and you proceed it. This is how you play flames, right? So we had run through an example. We had taken two names, Ajay and Priya, and we had run through and we found that at the end of our game, the letter that remains is F, which denotes friends. So Ajay and Priya are friends is what we got as a result. So something like that we have to play the game. So for that we'll do the programming part now. Before going into the actual programming part, I would like to give you some introduction to some prerequisites that is needed to code this Joy Flames. So let us go ahead with the prerequisites. So the string is nothing but list of characters. As you could see, string is what the technical term we give for words. Name is nothing but words, right? So name consists of a group of characters. So like that, if we have a group of characters, group of letters is technically called as characters, and a group of characters is what we call as string technically. So when dealing with strings, we need to know of some functionalities of strings, and which is available in the Python package, namely string. There is a package named string. So let me import that first. Import. So let me start. So the first thing that we have to do is import this package named string. Let me do that. Import string. This is the name of the package. Yes, we have imported this package string. If you feel the name is lengthier, you can use as and give a smaller name, SG, something like that. It's your wish. For me, string is okay, so I am doing this. So let me say the string I have S is some string. Strings, generally the notation is we initialize it within double quotes. So let us say the name of the person is Raj. Raj is the name of the person. So if this is the name of the person, I have a mix of capital letter, that is the uppercase characters, we call them as the capital letters, and the small letters, which we call them as lowercase characters. We have a mix of uppercase and lowercase. If I want to convert it to all in uppercase or all in lowercase, I have a functionality with the corresponding name. Let us see that. So first let me see for lowercase, that is all small letters is what we call as lowercase. Lowercase is nothing but small letters. I want to convert it into completely small letters. So I would do it as print. I want to print it in that format. I'll print it. See, S dot lower is the functionality. You have this functionality S dot lower. If I print, see, I'm getting the name in all small letters. The same if I want it for all caps, what I'll do is print S dot, as you would have guessed, it's uppercase. The capital letters are technically called as uppercase characters. So we'll use the functionality upper. Okay. So this is the functionality. So let me press enter. See, Raj, it's printed in all caps, the uppercase letters. So this is how you get the complete lowercase or complete uppercase of a mixed string, or even if you give in all small letters, if you still apply S dot lower, there is no problem. It will return the same string. That is, what this functionality does is it will check if the given input string has all small letters. If yes, it will return the same string Otherwise, it will convert all the letters to smaller letters and return that converted string. Similar is the case for upper function. It will check if all the input characters, that is the input string has some characters. If all those characters are in uppercase, that is the capital letters or not. If everything is in capital letters already, it will return the same input. Otherwise, it will convert the letters into the corresponding capital letters, that is the uppercase letters, and return the converted string. So this is how these two functionalities work. So upper and lower, these functionalities, for it to work properly, we need to import this package string. And the next thing is, we were actually looking at individual character level, right? So we were checking whether this particular letter Ajay, A, the first letter, whether is it present in the next name Priya. It was present, so we cancelled. The next letter J we will compare, it was not present. Next letter A we will compare, it is not present. So something like that we will be doing, right? So we will compare letters by letters. So when we have this as a whole string, we cannot do that comparison. So we need to convert it into list of characters, list of individual letters. That is what we need to do it. That will be required in our program. So we'll see how can this be done. So let me say the string list is nothing but list of the string S. The variable is S, so I am passing it. Okay, so it was converted into a list. So let me see what is present. So let me say print string list. Okay, so it contains the individual letters R, A and J. So it is a single string is converted into a list of 3 characters, right? So this list function precisely does that. It will take the individual character, make it an element, and convert a single string into list of individual characters. That is what this functionality does. Another thing that you can do with strings is you can find and replace. I hope you would have heard of this terminology. This is most popular if you are a movie watcher as well. If you watch in movies, some movies have comedy scenes based on that. I hope you are remembering. 3 Idiots is one of them. It has been dubbed or remade into some other languages as well. So in that, they'll find a particular word and replace it with some other word, and they'll make a hilarious situation out of it. So something like that, we can do a replace operation here. So we'll find a character and replace it with something else. So let us say I don't want to print J. I want to print some other letter in place of it. So how should I do that? So I would say print, I want to print the result S dot replace is the name of the functionality. Replace of, as I said, I don't want J, so I will write J here, J with, let me say I want to print it with hash, so I'll say hash. So if I say it is printed as RA hash, in place of J, hash is substituted. So this replace function precisely does that. It will search for this particular string here, and it will substitute this string in place of it. This is a source string and this is a target. This is the source, this is the target. It will search for the source and it will replace it with the target. It's not necessary that you need to give just single letter. You can give substrings as well. So let me modify it. I'll say AJ. I can give a substring. A part of the string is what you call as substring. In substring, what is mandatory is the letters must be in the same order. If I say AJ and if I press enter, see R and the part AJ gets converted into this hash. And here this is case sensitive. That means if it is in a small letter, it has to be in a small letter. Otherwise, it won't agree. If I say RA and say enter, see hash J is the output. So this particular substring RA is searched, and in place of that you are substituting hash. It happens. Now I'll check with smaller array. Small array, I'll check. See, you're not getting something like this. You're getting Raj completely because it is case sensitive. That is, whatever is this, it is a smaller letter or a capital letter. That is, it's a uppercase or a lowercase letter. Depends on that, it will find and substitute. So this replace functionality is case sensitive. We call this as case sensitive. By case sensitive, we mean if it is A capital letter, you must say capital letter. If it is a small letter, you must say small letter. It won't match. Okay, it's the same letter, just that is in caps and this is in small. It doesn't perform that kind of a match. That is what we call as case sensitive. And most of the passwords are case sensitive if you have been using it your mail or with your net banking anywhere. The passwords are case sensitive. So in that case, if you say a capital A, it is different from a small a. This is what we call as case sensitive. Alright, so this is how this replace functionality works. And even here you can give something. So let me say I'll give this capital RA and I can give star hash. I can give something like that as well. So even here you can give a substring. In place of this substring, you substitute this substring. That can also be given. It is telling us star hash and J. Or maybe I can do this way as well. I can say just A. See what happens? Let us see. See, in place of A, star hash has been substituted. So this is nothing but you find this source, whatever is the source. In place of that substring, you substitute this substring. That is what this replace functionality does. I hope you are clear with this. Why would you use replace functionality in the code? We'll see. Alright. The next thing that is needed is slicing of a list. I hope you have used it already in some of your previous weeks. But still let us have a recap because we will be using it extensively here. The slicing plays a major part here. So we'll see a recap of it. So let us see, we had a list, right? SL. This is a list. You had RAJ, and in case I want to extract only a specific part of the list. Say for example, this is a smaller list, so let me take a larger list. Let me say L equal to, I'll take letters itself because we are going to deal with strings, so let me take letters only. A, B, sorry, this has to be C, C, B, E, this has to be a comma, F. Okay, so let us consider this list containing 6 elements. This is my list L containing 6 elements A, B, C, D, E, F. So if I want to extract some portion of this list only and display, that is what we call as slicing. You are taking a slice out of the entire list is what you call as slicing. So how would you do that? L within the indexes, brackets, square brackets, you should give the start index from, say, let me say index 1 up till index 4. Let us see what happens. Okay, as you could see, I had given the index 1 to index 4. So what is the output? It starts from index 1. As you know, the list indexing starts from 0. So A is at index 0, B is at index 1, C is at index 2, and so on. So index 1, the letter found is B. So B is printed. Index 2, C is printed. Index 3, D is printed. And index 4, E is not printed. So this is how this slicing functionality works. The end index is ignored. So this means when you reach the index 4, you stop the process. You don't print that. You don't include it. That is what this means. So this portion of the list is sliced and taken. So this is how slicing works. And another thing is, it is not mandatory to give both the indices, the start index and the end index. That is, it is optional. So if I say list of, I don't give a start index, I just give an end index. Let us see what happens. Okay, so this is the output. See, you are getting A, B, C, D just before the 4th index. So if you don't give a start index, the default value that is taken is 0. 0 is taken as the default value, and from 0 till 4 minus 1, 3, the 3rd index, everything gets printed. Everything gets added to the output. Alright. What if I don't give the end index? I'll say 2. I don't give an end index. What happens? From index 2, A is at index 0, B is at index 1, C is at index 2. From index 2, it prints the entire list. So the default value of the end index, if you don't give, is taken as the length of the list. So a recap or a summary of what we have seen till now. Slicing is nothing but you cut the required portion of the list. You just take a part of the complete list is what you call. You're slicing. You're taking a slice of the list. That is why you call it as slicing. Give the square brackets, and within that you need to give start index colon end index plus 1. Please note that it is end index plus 1 because the last index won't be counted into the output. It will ignore at that index. It will stop at that index. So you have to give end index plus 1. And it is not mandatory for you to give both start index and end index. It is optional. In case you don't give the start index, the default value is taken as 0. if you don't give the end index, the default value is taken as length of the list. So what if I don't give both? Let me do that. What if I do this? The entire list gets printed because the default values are taken. So this works basically like L of 0 to length of the list is 6 here. So 0 to 6. It will start at index 0. Print A, print B, print C, print D, print E, print F, which is at index 5 and index 6. When the counter reaches 6, it will stop. So it will stop here and it will print the entire list. So this is how it works. If you give the value, it will take that particular index. The way you have to give is start index and end index plus 1. Please note this plus 1 fact. End index plus 1. And if you don't give the index, it will take the default values. The default value for start index is 0. The default value for end index is length of the list. Okay guys, I guess you have a good revision of the list slicing, which you had studied some weeks back, as well as you saw the new functionalities of upper, lower, replace in strings. Please do explore these functionalities. Also, there are some more functionalities that are available. Please do explore them and get more familiarized with these features with the commands. Also, yes, just one more command that you will be using in this. We'll see if this is the list L and I want to get the index of an element. I know the element, I want to get the index. That can be done by using the function index. Let us see that. Print L dot index is the function. You need to pass the element here. The element, let me say, is D. I want to know the index of the element D. So if I print, I'm getting 3. The index of the element is 3. In case if there are multiple places this element D is present, if your list is ABCD, 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 EF, just assume if that is your list, then the first occurrence of the value, that is what is returned as the output here. The index function will return the first occurrence of this element in the given list. The index function returns the first occurrence of the given element in the given list, right? So this is how this index functionality works. So what all you have seen? We have seen the upper functionality which converts the string into completely uppercase letters, lower functionality which converts the string into completely lowercase letters, replace functionality which searches for a substring and substitutes it with another substring. Then we have seen list slicing with start index and end index plus 1. Then if you don't give the start index or an end index, what is the default values, how it works, we have seen. And we have seen this functionality of index which returns you the first occurrence of a given element in the list. So this is what we have seen now. These are the prerequisites that are needed to code Flames. So with this, maybe you can start thinking and you can start trying to code Flames. So from this, develop a logic and you check it with what we are telling in the next video. That would be the best thing. That's the best way you can develop programming logic and you can do it by yourself. I would recommend that. And please do explore what are the other features available here. And this is by exploring and practicing, you become a better programmer. And so keep practicing is what I would say. Okay guys, thanks for watching this. We'll see how to implement Flames in the next video.